Never mind what's on the trailer. I was hauling a backhoe the other day and got to looking at a couple of my tires and thought, man, I should really replace those someday. Someday soon. Well, some days come sooner than you think. Yeah, it's that happened about 70 mile an hour on 220. The Interstate 99. I'm not gonna lie, 75-ish. But then, upon closer inspection, I thought this was one of my better tires because it only had a few little signs of dry rot. But the wheel on it just ate through. So I went shopping for tires and wheels. I bought 4 off Home Depot. I'm not sponsored by Home Depot, but they had the best deal going for powder coated wheels. And I'm going to keep, and it's weird that they're on the same side, these two, this one, and this one. This one's new. Well, new to me, probably about a year old. I'm going to clean it up and mount it back up there. And the wheel seems a lot better. I mean, it's got a little rust, but it's not like the metal's not flaking off the steel. It's the integrity's not challenged. And this one is still pretty good. I'm gonna put this one in my camper because it needs a spare, and I'd rather have 4 wheels than 2 replaced. These ones are real bad. This one was the spare. And as you can see, it's not long for this world anymore. And then this one's the one I actually thought, whenever I seen it, I was like, man, I should replace some of these wheels or some of these tires. But we're gonna get rid of it all. But what I'd like to do is on the cheap, and the purpose of this video is to show you how to go from this to this, because nothing says cool like custom trailer wheels. Everybody puts custom wheels in their truck, but you got a lot of money if you got custom wheels in your trailer. That, and I can't stand these bright whites. Alright, we're gonna paint that one too. I'll show you guys how to hopefully prep it and get it ready for get all this flaking and stuff off, or at least how I do it, and we'll get as professional a result as we can. Alrighty. Alright, as with most anything, the first step in painting prep is to clean it. So we're just going to go ahead and give this sucker a good hose down with some cleaner. I already did the front side, but this is just to knock most of the grime off where we're going to be painting. Then we'll further clean it in a little bit. We'll let that soap up. And you can see all that crap just coming right off. This is just the initial cleaning. There'll be several more cleanings to come. So this one here is just to knock the bulk of the dirt off. Alright, we'll be back inside for the next installment. Alright, now for the second part of the cleaning. All we're going to do is take some naphtha and some rags. And the naphtha is basically a solvent that will, help remove all the dirt and oils and greases and stuff. Now, I've painted cars before, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of extra steps I could be doing right now to get a 100% perfect job. but it's a equipment trailer. Be realistic here. If I was really worried about it, I would have bought custom wheels. But since I didn't buy custom wheels, I'm just trying to do this a little bit cheap and make it look kind of cool. Those are my only goals: cool and cheap. Well, believe it or not, after trying several mechanical methods on different varying power tools, the thing that seems to be working the best is good old, I think it's like 150 grit and a piece of sandpaper and a little bit of patience. But anyways, I'm knocking everywhere it was flaking or loose off and feathering it back till I get back to paint that's, adhered again, so to speak. Once again, we're not going for a concourse showcase job, but if you really wanted to, well, if you're really going for one of those, you would took the wheel off, or a tire off the wheel and had the wheels blasted and then painted or powder coated. But for my old trailer, it will be pretty cool if we get it just good enough. You know what I mean? Oop, looks like I got a little bit more air. Yeah, it seems to be flaking off right there. I'll have to sand that up some more, but yeah, we're moving right along. Alrighty, here we go. Alright. Now I started to... Am I recording? Yeah. Alright, I started to primer this wheel up, and then I realized, oops, I forgot to do the valve stem. So we're going to concentrate on the valve stem, and I apologize, but I lost part of my tripod, so I can't attach my camera. But anyways, if you take your valve stem, now keep in mind that I did not paint this, but if you push it down just a little bit, you get to like the underside, and if you do it the other way, you see that little spot that's not painted. So that's what we're going to concentrate on. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our tape, we're going to cut it off into a little bitty square, and then we're going to take and push down on our valve stem and get that tape nice. That ain't so nice. Let me try it again. New piece of tape. More comfortable. Now we're going to get it right up underneath there, keeping in mind that we don't want to prevent any of the paint from flowing underneath it. We just want to keep the paint from getting on the valve stem itself. Okay, and just keep your tape pieces small, and especially around the base, you're going to want to keep them tight to the valve stem, because you want the paint to be able to flow all around, but you don't want it to like get on the valve stem itself. So we're going to pry up. We're going to go like this. Oop. Sometimes got a little tool that can help. Help you reach into those tight spots and really push the tape down where you want it. And then you can take the last little bit, like such, and just wrap the head. Now you can see, wait a second, pull up, see how it kind of is underneath, in between the wheel and the stem, but it's not interfering at all. So now I'm going to get the next phase here, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, I'm back masking the back side of the wheel on this very edge here, and this will come into a crucial part for step 2. But realistically, all that you need to do when you're back masking is, and then hold on a second here, is you're going to want to get your tape, pull it a little bit long, and then I like these tools. You can buy them at your local Harbor Freight for a multitude of things, but then you just kind of want to get it stuck and then push it down in. And don't worry if it's not exactly perfect. Most people will never know the difference. As I try to get a little bit of a better angle here. You have to excuse me, I broke my tripod. Yeah. Sorry, that's kind of crappy. Well, now I broke my chair. Anyway, here, I'll see if I can put you in my lap. Anyway, you just kind of stick it just a little bit. Now I'm just sticking it to the outside edge, and then anywhere I need to, where it might be sticking up a little bit, I'll force it down and kind of push it against with the tool. Sorry, concentrating on what I was doing, not holding the camera, but you get the general idea. But you go the whole way around the wheel, and then I'll proceed to the next step. Alright, I have to really apologize because I'm shooting left-handed, but you notice that shine there on the tire? Now a lot of people, and I agree with them, you can use regular tire shine for it, but me, I don't have a whole bunch of tire shine around, so a little bit of motor oil it is. I've seen grease used as well, but basically what you're doing is you're just putting something on there, like such, to keep the oil, the paint from sticking to the tire. And don't do what I did just now and actually get oil on your wheel. Now you gotta clean that off. I got it too sloppy. But anyways, you get the idea. The tape was to keep it off the edge of the rim. Alright, I gotta clean up that oil now. Talk to you in a minute. Alright, now we finally reached the climax. The moment when everything changes. Now you want to grab your spray paint can, give it a whole bunch of shakes, and then in a sweeping right to leftish motion, lay down your first coat. We'll leave that about a minute to flash. That's a tack coat. Looks like I could have probably sanded a little bit more right there, but hey, this is a spare tire on my trailer, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm using the new ones for the regular tires, so they don't require anywhere near as much prep or effort. But I figured it'd be better to show you guys on the hardest one than the easiest one. Know what I mean? this stuff tacks off pretty quick. But the one thing I like to do, and I highly recommend this, is once you start painting, you roll your tire every so often between coats, so that way you get nice even coverage. Because like it shows right there, see how it's kind of reddish? I didn't get quite a good coat on it. Sorry, I keep concentrating on what I'm doing and not the camera. There is no expert rhyme or reason to this as far as which direction you paint in, because let's face it, it's a wheel. It's round. It's got many convex shapes, but you don't want to get too much paint on it or make a run. And then let's roll it around a little bit and check it. Oh, see right there? That's why you gotta roll it around. I didn't get this outer edge very well. Alright. It's looking pretty good. Oh, right there. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on, let me zoom. Right there. A little bit of red. Where did I just set that? There it is. I just love this color. The paint color, by the way, in case you're wondering, is called Black Stainless Steel. It's a semi-metallic, like gray. I absolutely love the color. But, alright, I think we're gonna let this sucker dry. You can, after it's dry, you can either take a pressure washer and wash the oil off, or do like I'm gonna do and just not worry about it and let it rain on the trailer. I know environmentalists are probably freaking out, but let's face it, those two trucks probably leak more oil than that in a given day. Alright, we'll let this dry and then it'll be time for the reveal. Now, how to start with a new wheel, like these ones, these are actually powder coated. You can paint over powder coat, but like any paint project, you have to prep it properly. So that's where these red Scotch-Brites come in. I really like them because they let you get into all the nooks and crannies. But most importantly, all you're really looking to do is you don't have to strip any coating completely off as long as it's well adhered well. But what you want to do, well, first off, clean it up with some naphtha or a wax and grease remover. Is just get in there, and you can see that reflection. And just dull it up a little bit. Like you can see up here how we got the reflection now. I haven't done that yet, but down here it's kind of dull. All that's doing is giving the paint a little bit of tooth to hold on to. And then these I'm not primering. The powder coat's going to be the best kind of primer at all. As long as that's been scuffed, the paint should adhere to it very well. I am going to mask off the valve stems like I did before, and still oil tape it and oil up the tire. And then we'll put those on in place of those. And if you're lucky and everything works out, because I already put them on, you'll go from these rusty crusty jalopy looking things that aren't, actually I'm pretty sure neither one of these are even a trailer tire, to something a little bit more like that. Now, I think that's badass. Kind of wish I would have bought new lug nuts, but you know, whatever. I put a little anti-seize on them because they were real hard coming off. I needed an impact gun to cut them off, to get them off, and right there I must have bumped the paint when I put the wheel on. But it's a trailer, but I think that's like a 6,000% improvement over what we did have before, and I think it kicks ass. So that'll be it. Anybody want some junk wheels and tires, get a hold of me. I'll give them to you pretty much, but for right now I go back to prepping and painting this wheel and that wheel. Oh, that reminds me, make sure you take all your stickers off too, and then take some naphtha and clean up the glue, or any other type of wax grease remover type solvent. Okay, I'm going to finish this project up and go watch me some NASCAR.